Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing some live editing. I'm going to be using Imagen AI. I get a lot of questions about, kind of how do you do your editing? Is Imagen that good? And today we're going to find out. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I don't know how long it's going to take Imagen to actually do everything, but I've already called the whole wedding. Connor and Haley, if you guys are in here, make sure that you go ahead and click off because I don't want you getting a little sneak preview of everything. So let me go ahead and switch over to the other. There we go. And as you guys can kind of see, I've already went through. For this wedding, there's actually quite a bit. I think there is about 1,570 photos that I'm going to put into the system. For you guys that don't know, Imagen is actually like an AI editor, and I'm gonna have to exit out of Lightroom. Anytime you go to put photos into Imagen, you have to close Lightroom out. Let's see. Yeah, if I don't get this going quick, we'll be here forever. So let's see. All right, so we're gonna use mine. Wedding. They have the culling now. I do my own culling, so I'm not gonna use that. Let's put Haley and Connor's in. All right, so this is the screen when you go to start putting everything in. You want to click the folder. For me, I do a sneak peek. I edit that, manually. So anything with 4 or 5 star, I'm not going to edit. I'm also not going to edit anything that's already edited here. So I just click not edited and all the other stars. You're gonna have to name it. Let's put HC. Oops. HC. Haley and Connor. Let's go ahead and start uploading that. It's probably gonna be the biggest one to date that I've put in. Almost 1,600 photos. Normally it's like 1,200, 1,000, 800, stuff like that. So it's gonna be fun to see how long this takes. I didn't think that part through. Yeah, last one was 755. Alright, there it goes. Ooh, 44 minutes. No, that's gonna drop down. What is cool though is like when you do the AI editor, I could click it just like this. I can go walk away, watch some TV, hang out, do some emails. And it's going to shoot me an email once it's all done, say your photos are ready, which is pretty cool. Oh, crap, clicked on Zoom. No meetings today. Excuse me. If you guys are in the chat, let me know if you've used Imagen before. What was your experience like? All that jazz. Honestly, this is kind of how I do most of my photos nowadays. Just most people ask, like, is it good? Is it even worth it? Probably should have showed you guys before that I saw it before just to check it. The cost for this wedding is like $100, but I'm also doing the straightening, not the crop. I don't know how that screen didn't pull up, or maybe it did and I just didn't see it. If I went here, oh yeah. So I'll just show you guys since we're already here. So 1,598 photos. I always do straightening. I like to crop my own photos because when I call, I'll put like 2 or 3 duplicates in since I shoot like 1 million photos. And then that way I can crop it different ways, bring it in nice and tight and stuff, and kind of get more bang for my buck with different photos. But then here at the bottom, it will tell you your estimated cost. For this one, it's going to be 95 and 88 cents. They have pricing, like different stuff, like different programs you can do monthly and stuff. I haven't ventured that far yet because I haven't figured out like if it's something I want to do for every wedding or just certain ones. If it's just certain ones, I'm not going to do the membership, even though I know it's probably worth it financially. Here, you want to pull that up? Let's pull that up and see what it looks like actually. It's going to take me to the internet, but yeah, pay as you go is like 5 cents a photo, $7 a month, something like that. What is this one? Yeah, just basically, the more you kind of say, hey, I'm gonna rock with you guys, it's gonna give you a lower discount. The backup, that might be worth it alone just to do that. I do know that like when you do this though, you don't have to pay for all the extra like cropping and the masking tool and all that jazz. So again, when we get to that stage, we'll kind of figure it out from there. What I click on. What I don't like is like it just keeps popping up these DNG converters at the bottom, so like all my stuff looks like it's breathing the whole time. Where'd the little ticker go? Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Yeah. Leave cat. There we go. Now we're cooking. They do have what do they call them? Like different profiles from other people. I've tested out almost all of them just to kind of see what they look like. They're great, but I like mine better. Mine I've kind of created from my own edits. I don't know how many it actually tells you have to have. AI profiles. I have about 11,000 photos in. I've done the fine tuning twice. Once I think you got to put 4,000 to 6,000 in to get your profile to be able to use it. Once you get to that part, then you can edit with it, fine tune it, and just keep going like that. The more that I fine tune it, the better it actually gets. A lot of questions as well is going to be like, is once you put it in, is it done? Like, can you just walk away from it? No, you always have to like kind of go back and retouch everything. But where before it would take me a week to edit a whole wedding, just sitting there, you know, preset, click, click, click. Now it's 90% of the way done. And I just go and kind of tweak the exposure and kind of tweak different things. Certain photos as well, you'll see me use the mask. Anything with like a veil, for example, I always highlight the veils. So like you'll see me go through with brushes and stuff like that to kind of really bring the photo to life. But for the most part, the AI lately has been awesome. Where is it? There it is. Over here. About 14 minutes left? Dang. Oh, it's still dropping. Honestly, I wish I knew. I don't know how long it actually takes. I've never had to kind of sit here and watch the time tick down. I've always just set it up, let it ride, and then I'll come back a couple hours later and just knock them out. One of the cool parts about this, the AI part is, you know, when you get home, if you can call a wedding right when you get home, it allows you to be able to knock out the edit within a week. One of the things that I want to attempt to do with this wedding season is the flip on the return of the photos. I don't want to be sitting on them for, you know, 6-8 weeks. I want it to be a week or two. A lot of people are going to say that's too quick, but I'd rather them have their photos and be able to kind of enjoy them. I think if you wait too long, it kind of loses that magic. Because everybody, like when you send the sneak peek, people always lose their mind, right? They look at that and they're like, oh, I want to see more, and just give them more. For my sneak peeks, by the way, I only give like 10 to 15 photos, just depending on what the day was. If the day was a smaller day, it's going to be like 10 to 12. If it's a pretty big day, it's like 15. Never more than 15. Let's see. Yeah, it's cooking with grease over here now. If any of you guys have also used the culling, let me know how that goes. I'm terrified to use culling Sometimes, like, you know, like if you shoot a blurry photo on purpose, or if you shoot a certain moment, it's not the best, but you know you're still gonna send it. I don't know if culling can read my mind that way, you know, where I would use certain photos different ways, along with like the way I kind of crop photos. Like, for example, there's gonna be a first touch photo in this gallery where it was nice and wide, but then I just shot a couple extra because I knew I was gonna go in on their hands. When you use I shoot with an R5, and with that camera I can crop in for miles and still keep the quality of the photo. There we go. Almost there. Excuse me. What's cool about this wedding though is obviously I'm knocking out the wedding first, but this wedding was in Boulder Junction in Wisconsin, and we drove. Well, actually, we flew and then we drove all the way up there. We were up there for about a week. So not only do I have like the full wedding day, which is what is here, but I also have like a week of like just kind of like candid documentary style, you know, photos from the entire week. You know, they were playing like wiffle ball the first day, so I got a bunch of that. We also have, what they do? Oh, they went out on the boat, like a little pontoon. They did a bar crawl, and they also had like the rehearsal dinner and stuff like that. It's also where I was able to kind of do both. I was doing a little bit of hybrid photo and video, so I was able to kind of get like a behind the scenes style of the entire week. They did have a videographer, so I'm not gonna like step on his toes and show everybody all that, but I'm sure he did good. But mine has a little bit a different style than just like a wedding. It has some wedding pieces because we went out on this little John boat, which was sick, so I was like, yeah, I gotta get that. So now it says 9 minutes, but it says 50% done. I don't believe it. Once it's like, this is basically uploading the photos in it, and then it's gonna say, hey, do you want to edit? And then you're gonna have to put them into the Lightroom. Putting them in the Lightroom is just click as a button. It's the editing part that I'm curious about. What I did find out as well is, like, see here in the active projects, like I'll go to what? Somebody said babysitting. Oh, I get it. Oh, what are we doing? I clicked on too much. There's a part here where you can just kind of fine tune. That's what that number 5 is. Oh, it says upload final edit. So like before, where I would have to upload it directly into the to the system like I would with this, you can just click upload final images after you've done all the tweaks and stuff, and it's 2 seconds, which is great because then it's able to get you to fine tune a lot quicker. Let's see. I wish I could figure out how to. I'm not the best when it comes to this, by the way. I just figured I'd pop on, show you guys how to get some of this stuff, and more importantly, show you how the edits come out. When it comes to that, that's the most important part. All this other stuff, you guys can watch all the tutorials in the world. Their customer service is nuts, by the way. If you go onto their Facebook group, I don't remember his name. I think it's Scott. That dude has got to be awake 24/7. All he does is respond to literally everybody's comments. You can ask just a random question, and he'll send like a video response. So like, I think like where I'm at right here, he just stays here and doesn't move. He's got to have like the most comfiest chair in the world. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, they're called Talent AI profiles. So you can kind of see I'm horrible with his name. I'm not going to pronounce that one. I know John. I've used John's before. It's pretty good. Timeless color, it's good. It's just not my style by any means. I've never used any of the black and whites. I feel like I'm never going to do a full wedding in black and white, so I'm not even going to attempt to do that. Let's see what else I've tried. I think I've tried this pastel one. Not my style, but I think it still came out pretty good. This one, Peach by PDX. I want to try that just because it looks sick from this first photo. Let's see some samples, actually. Back to the web. Oh, it's got tons of magenta. I don't know. It's a different look. And that's kind of where I think the most important part of all this is just kind of building your own style. Using somebody else's, I mean, it's good for few, but that's a great photo right there. I love capturing like kind of the older people hands, especially like that stuff really tells a story. But yeah, trying to create your own is, you'll know how to tweak it, versus where if I use this right here, like I might get some great photos, but I'll have no idea how to match everything else up because I don't know what he did to get there. Now, granted, you could probably also start with something like that. I keep clicking on this zoom. I think it knows it's like, have a few meetings. There we go. But yeah, if you could create your own, just kind of go from there, you'll be able to have more consistency. Using somebody else's is a great way to get started. You could also probably get somebody else's, for example, you can use Peaches and kind of then create your own off of that and kind of tweak it. If that's where like you like that base, that could be a good starting point for you. I've never used that, so don't take my word for it, but I kind of had my own stuff going well before this came out, so I just went in the bank of all my edited photos and just started dumping them. That was the most difficult part, is getting all the photos to kind of create my own profile and then tweaking it from there, because I tend to like edit slightly different at each wedding. Like some I like a little bit darker, some I like a little bit brighter, some I like warmer than others. It just kind of whatever I feel like the mood is for that in particular wedding. But that's the kind of stuff you'll see me tweak. The this AI part, that's gonna give me a solid base, which I trust that part enough. I'm gonna be curious to see after, because this is the first one I've done after recent fine tune, if it can get pretty close to this wedding edits, because I'll compare it between my sneak peeks that I've already done and the and what this does. Last time I know it was super close. On a few of the photos it was identical. Like I would edit it from scratch from my preset and then just kind of tweak it up to this, just spitting them out. Last time I couldn't tell the difference between a handful of sneak peeks, but I guess we'll kind of see what this fine tune goes. I wonder how you become a talent profile. That's kind of sick. I don't know if I'd want somebody else using my stuff, because I feel like I'm the only one that knows how to use it, but you never know. Let's see John's. If you guys didn't know, John actually shot my wedding. I don't think my photos are going to be in here, but that'd be kind of cool. See me looking like a stud? No? All right. Love that photo. I didn't make the cut, guys. Didn't make the cut. I'm not butthurt about it, though. Peaches would have put me in, I'm just saying. Let's see. What I would like to try out is maybe like a JPEG one. Like if I could fire off some like JPEGs and have them edited up pretty nice. But I think for the most part, like, oh, here's one. I don't know if I'm gonna like that. Maybe was it a black and white? I guess maybe a JPEG from color black and white would actually work pretty well, but I guess. Oh yeah, it's right there in the title. That's my bad. Yeah, from color to black and white for a JPEG, I guess it wouldn't be too bad. I guess it would really have to depend on the photo, because some of my stuff, like, I have to really kind of tweak up to make the black and white look good. I use between 2 and 3 different black and whites for each wedding. It just, you'll kind of see between whatever I feel, you know, the moment really is calling for. That's what I'll go for. Some I use more grain, some I use less. This thing's got to be done by now, right? Now it's 6 minutes for 100 photos? Oh, this is crazy. Let me timestamp this. Where are we at, guys? What is that? About 20 minutes? It's brutal. That's why I don't sit here for this. Y'all gonna have to start a counter for how many coffees I pound down during this live stream. 1 minute. All right, now we're cooking. I said that last time too. Projects. I'm not done fine-tune this wedding. We for this one we also have videos, so I'm also like trying to make sure we deliver at the same time rather than just sending all the photos all at the same. I also don't have the greatest internet in the world, so that may play a pretty big factor in this. If you have like some just disgusting fast, you know, internet, that may make it go quicker. But you guys let me know. I don't know how that goes. I'm more of a let's take the photo kind of guy rather than learn all the technical end of all that. Again, if you guys are just now popping in, today we're going to be editing with Imagen AI. We're going to do a full wedding. Again, Connor, Haley, if you guys are in here, go ahead and hop out. I don't want you guys seeing any of the photos beforehand. Obviously, there's going to be a ton, so I want you guys to kind of enjoy that all at the same time rather than watching me edit them. Perfect. The editing, that didn't make any sense. Okay, so now it's processing the edit. Oh, uploading's complete. Now it's editing. Oof, brutal. Guys, let me know if you've ever kind of sat through and watched this before. Like, how long has it been for you? Do you guys just sit here and upload them and edit them technically and just watch it, or you just kind of walk away? I guess watching the computer do it kind of defeats the purpose of saving that time. It's definitely still quicker than going through and editing 1,600 photos. That's one of the best parts about the AI stuff is being able to save that time. I know like for example, like $100 is basically what we're gonna call this wedding. I think it's like 92, but for $100 being able to buy back like a week's worth of time for me is just completely worth it. I just got another wedding inquiry. Let me respond to that while we have some time. Just bear with me, guys. If you guys are a wedding photographer, how many weddings do you guys typically take a year? Myself, I don't know, 30, 40. Quite a bit. Nice. North Carolina in winter. I'm all about that. They just put hello. You are... out this part real quick. One thing that I do not like, if you guys know, like the knot on your phone is brutal. I do not like using it on my phone. On the computer, I'm fine with. I'm all about that. But the on your phone, it's just jumbled up. All right, cool. So now, oh no, it's not done. I saw the wrong one. That's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking there. Does it give you an estimated time for this? 'Cause that's what we want. That's what we need. Watch it say like 4 hours. Guys, if it said 4 hours, I'd be out. I come back to you when it comes, when it gets finished. One thing I do need to invest in is a new chair. This thing is not the move. Just because I'm bored, I'm going to run that back. So, guys, if you wanted to use a talent profile or if you wanted to use your own, obviously you have to create your own, but to kind of dive into the beginning part, you just click use to edit, kind of click whatever you want. What will be the most common in this? I don't know if this has anything to do with kind of how it works. I always just click wedding though. You go to your recent catalog. Obviously you can't be logged in on Lightroom when it happens, so you'd have to exit that out. You click on the one you want to use. Kind of go to the folder because sometimes people will put, you know, different weddings, different, you know, shoots into the same Lightroom catalog. I always separate it, but you could click the folder. Again, mine had about 1,600. You kind of come over here. You would name it, kind of whatever you want to use it. You can't use the same name more than, you know, once. So I always just put the couple's name or the first initials. Additional tools, you can use the crop tool. I've used it. It's not bad. But I like to do my own cropping because I like to do different stuff with the way I shoot. Straightening, definitely. I hate straightening photos, so anything I can do to kind of have that go quicker I'm all about it. Subject mask, it's not bad, but sometimes like when a section isn't edited exactly the way I want it, I would just hit copy and paste once I get it right. Where when you use the subject mask, it's going to copy exactly how that mask was. It's not going to just adapt how Lightroom normally would. So I don't use that for that reason. It's still in beta though, so they may have fixed it, but I kind of just learned that I'm going to put my own masks on if I want to do that. You would come down to editing status. If you click edited photos, it's going to redo anything you've already done. So like for me, I've already done a sneak peek, so I'm not going to click anything I've already edited. So I always click non-edited photos. My star ratings, I always click 5 stars for anything I'm sending, 4 stars for anything that I already put in. So if I happen to edit a 4-star photo, I'll leave that blank, the 5-star blank, and then all that. So you can kind of see if I did click those. Oh, that's because they're not edited. There you go. So 1605 in the full wedding, but I've already edited quite a few of those. Labels, I mean, if you kind of, however you kind of manage your Lightroom. I use stars and colors, not flags and all that jazz. And then you can kind of see the estimated cost down here would be, for the with the straightening would be 95 and 88 cents. If you add the crop on there, it'd be $111. So again, I like to do my own cropping, so that saves me a few bucks anyway. Again, you can kind of have less photos, save yourself money. You can do the memberships or whatever they're calling it to save yourself money that way too. I haven't dove into that yet, but if I ever do, I'll let you guys know. Let's see. Where is this one at? I think it's still editing. Brutal. Also, keep in mind, like, this is 1,600 photos, and I think we're at 30 minutes now. 30 minutes for 1,600 photos. Can we really complain about that? No. Are we? Oh, yeah, definitely. Any chance we get. Oh, there it is. If you click on projects, you can watch it live. Once it goes to review, then we can download them to the Lightroom and start mashing through them. July 2nd, when I do that. I don't think that date's right, guys. Well, today's the 6th. I think I already put these in too. I can't remember which one this was. 30 photos? Can't remember. My music turned off? What's going on here? What are we doing? Here for it. For the music, by the way, guys, I'm just using Epidemic. I'm not doing anything fancy. Somebody tag Scott. Ask him how long it takes. Let's see what I've done before. So I have about 15 projects that I've ran through here. There we go. See me testing out all those other ones. Yeah, it's the other ones were good. Again, to kind of go through. I think if I was just starting out, when you first start, and I believe I put a link in the description, you can go test it out for free. You get like 1,500 like free edits. Now, for each photo, right? If you let's say you edit it once, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you could test the same profile. What is it? No, so each profile would be its own like edit. So what I would say is pick maybe 10 photos you'd like, and then be able to go from there to try each one. When it comes to the profiles, again, I didn't like half of them, but they were all good if it's something that you kind of go with. But like, I know some people really like those warm tones. It's like the opposite of what I do. I like to stay away from that orangey filter. A lot of people ask for it, but that's just one thing that I'm not good at it, so I don't even attempt it. This is the longest thing that's ever happened. What is going on here? I bet I can pull it up though. This little Lightroom action. I can show you guys a sneak peek real quick. Let's see. Just throw on the filters, a little rated action. Let's go back. See, like this one. Love this photo right here. This was again, if you're just popping in, this was in Wisconsin, Boulder Junction, basically in the middle of nowhere. But it's definitely a beautiful area. This was like their family's property, so like very sentimental to them. But also, what was cool about this photo is Connor told me that the first time he met Haley was on a boat, so we gotta kind of get to make a full circle for him. This was the other one from that section that was in the sneak peek. Again, when I do a sneak peek, I like to kind of do difference. Like right here, they're not looking at each other, but here they are. And then kind of, where's the other one? Like here, they're like actually like looking at each other face to face. I think I'm missing one. Look, Connor crying. This was for their first touch. They also passed notes, which is kind of cool. I know what it said. I'm not gonna tell you guys, so that's personal stuff. This was a cool photo. This is one that I saw or that John shot for my wedding that I was like, I wanted to try to like get something similar because it's hanging up on my wall over here. It's definitely one of my favorite photos from the day, and I thought maybe they would like it too. This was a new one. I've never attempted to do something like this, have them kind of run through the crowd. I kind of like it, so it might be something that I try at other weddings moving forward. But we also had the space for this kind of photo. It was definitely needed the room. The ceremony, ridiculously bright. What was also funny is this whole week was super cloudy, so everything was like a giant softbox all week up until the wedding. And then the wedding was like the hottest day, where previous days we were wearing like hoodies and jeans and stuff like that. The wedding day came and I was just like, it was the first time during a wedding I took my suit off. So if that says anything. And I'm from Florida, so. Let's see what else we got here. Connor crying again. That was his reaction. I thought this one was cool because I also got his brother crying. So I think he'll like that one. A little quick. Do I have to say anything about this one? And then one with mom. I kind of bounced all around it, but this is like a black and white one that I did. See, like this is actually, oh no, that one I took intentionally. Well, that music got loud. For the for this one, yeah, I just had her kind of hold her valve book and took a few. I intentionally knew I was going black and white with this one, just to kind of have some details to it. They had a first shot with their first touch. Beer though, so not even a shot. I think they both kind of realized like, hey, we can't just be 3 p.m. just pounding shots. They wouldn't make it through the night. Flower shot, that's pretty standard for me. I'm definitely gonna always take that one with the brides, or at least try to if there's enough bridesmaids or if the bouquets look good. Let's see where we're at with this. Perfect. Time to download to edit. Download to review. I gotta exit out. Yeah, that's one thing. Like with Lightroom, you have to close it out if you're gonna use it. So let me quit this. So let's go to download to review. This part I know it's quick because I have to do this part manually. No filters section. Alright, I'm just kind of clicking the same things I've already done there. So you can just click download edits. And then it's going to allow you to open up Lightroom Catalog. That's the sneak peek photo. That's not what's been done. But you can kind of watch them as they go. They'll start flipping through and start changing on itself. And I'll kind of show you like the before and afters. All right, cool. Let's dive in a little bit. Let's check out the sneak peek photos first. So let's just check. Let's start with the boat. That's probably my go-to here. So this is sneak peek. Oh, what just happened? All right, sneak peek. Boat. See, like it's a little too bright for me. It's not a bad edit by any means, but like for me, I would definitely kick back the exposure. And this, I was kind of far off. Oh, buddy. Not a fan of that. A little more contrast. Yeah, it was definitely far off comparatively. Again, the AI did a pretty good job, but for these photos, I know I'll go through and kind of fine tune it a little bit more. Let's check out the other one. It's right over here. Oh, I can already tell it's not even close. Oh. My edit, the AI's edit. If I just take off the exposure, just a little bit. Yeah, we're pretty much spot on there. The exposure is just off a little bit. I need to lower the shadows. Oh, too many clicks. There we go. Yeah, see? And that photo, that first edit, took me 20 minutes when I first did it, because you can kind of see on here. Like I have background mask, them mask, and the boat itself. So like first the edit, then all the masks for what that just basically did in a couple seconds. Again, couple tweaks here and there. I'm curious to see like what the reception turned out. Let's see. You are the lucky one. I like my reception photos a little bit darker. Wider. There you go. I did the whole trend with the hard sunglasses, put their names on it. What was kind of crazy is like most people during receptions, if they're not on the dance floor, they don't want a photo. They're like, get away from me. You pop out some sunglasses to them, they're all about it. They were sorry, my dog's acting crazy. Let's see. Shutter's a little slow on that one, huh? Yeah, we're gonna have to go through and tweak those too. Brutal. See, that's kind of one of the parts with like the whole like fine tuning it. Like me, I feel like my style is kind of vary from where I'm actually at. So what I'm thinking I may end up doing is like I shoot weddings a lot in St. Augustine and Florida, but then I also go to North Carolina, Savannah. You know, obviously I do travel weddings and stuff like that. But I think what I may do is create like a travel one, because I tend to do those a little bit more like the like this, for example, like a lot more woodsy, desaturate the greens a little bit, and then kind of make a little bit more punch to it, where in Florida you can't do that. There's not trees like that, so you got to kind of play that middle ground. So I may create an entire separate AI profile for just the travel ones, where I know the trees are going to be like that. But also, like, some people like do different presets and different styles for different seasons. I kind of stay consistent throughout the entire year, so that way when somebody looks at my work, they know exactly what they're gonna get. Let's see what this one does. That one came out pretty good. What would I change? Maybe the white? Yeah. Just a hair. I like that. I'm not mad about it. If anything, like, especially with like the brides, sometimes I can just go subject. Oh crap, I meant people. Delete that one. I'll go to the bride, click close, create a mask, and then maybe just highlights. Boom. Now our dress is popping. So stuff like that is things that I would normally do. My phone is going nuts. I went the long way, I know. Doing a whole scroll. I'm just gonna see what pops out so I can check it out. It's not too bad. See, the real test is going to be in this bride getting ready area, because those orange lights, oh, I kind of mess with that. Like, comparably, look at that. White balance totally off. I didn't use flash just because I was trying to stay incognito. I was just doing candid stuff because they weren't even ready for me to be there yet. Haley'd be pissed if I showed her with no makeup on. That's my bad, guys. Yeah, see, like, it knows exactly how I would fix the white balance and what I would change. So, like, for me not to have to even deal with an orange photo like that, totally worth it for me. See, like that? Fix the kind of skin tones up. A little grainy, but... See, like this? Black and white all day. The question is, which one? See, like this one, I don't remember whose that was. I bought this one, but I like how grainy it was, where normally I'll stick between these two. For this one, I'm feeling that grain. And I'll probably crop in a little bit here, just on that glass. Yeah, I like that. See, kind of just fix it. Made a little bit more magenta on it, but I could take that off. Let's see where the guys' room was so-so, but I think it came out pretty good here. It's more white, but see, like that, it's just too much black. Yeah, I'll go with this one, and then I can just raise the exposure some. I like it. It's not bad. Again, this is the first time I'm using this one with the new fine tuning, so I'm judging it just like you guys would be. See, like that, I would probably do something along those lines. If anything, I'd probably brighten the white, or the lighten the blues, just so that way the white shirt pops a little bit more. Oh, it's a little laggy. Let's go over here to his getting ready part. This part was a little difficult. He got a little red going on. He was probably sunburned, I'll tell you that. I keep clicking the wrong one. This is my bad. Let's see. A little hair action. Oof. I don't remember my white balance being off that many times, but I guess it's all from the same section. I was running dual cameras, so some of the timestamps on this stuff is gonna be a little bit off because I know I didn't set that. But again, like if this is what I had, this is what I would want. Close to that. I may tweak it a little bit, but maybe a little bit more contrast. A bit white. So like this. It's so hard for me to like not just slam everything in black and white because I love black and white, but see, like here I put in 2, so we'll go this one black and white. Might be doing the whole wedding with this one, but I am gonna bring down the grain just a hair. There it goes. That makes it a little bit more crispier, in my opinion. You only want to put in so much grain. Probably throw that one out. Let's, oh, I had another one over here. Let's check this. Nah, I can already tell it's way off. Oh, okay, it just didn't load. So this is the AI, this is me. Almost spot on. This is my edit for the sneak peek. AI's. Mine. AI's. Almost identical there. See, like that's the kind of stuff where like I could see this and maybe I'd run through and say, okay, let me, I wouldn't even touch it to be honest. Maybe I'd crop it in. Even out the tan on his leg or something maybe. I know that feeling. Once you take that blindfold off, it's like you just got reborn. You can't see nothing. Dying. Dying, bro. About to go cut some ice. Let's see. There's her kind of running away. One of those would be black and white. Here, I had some bridesmaids photos that were pretty tough until I moved them. Alright, let's see. I'll show you what the before is. I know the before was not good. See what I mean? Like, backlit, brutal. You add my little touch to it, back to life. Cooking with grass. See, like here, you can see we're kind of back to normal-ish. Again, we were on a hill though. It was the only spot that kind of felt like, yeah, we can do some photos here, you know. Let's check the other one. Here, let's check this. See, that was my edit. And that's the computer's. See, my veil here is definitely done with a brush. Like you can see, I kind of painted the whole thing, brightened the highlights on it, made it a little bit more, you know, poppy. But when it comes to the AIs, I think it's pretty much spot on, except for it needs that brush. Whoa, what is that one? I don't even remember taking that. Here, let's click here, back over. Yeah, the only thing that's really missing is the veil. So I'm glad about that one. I think that's okay. Yeah, so for the most part, the boat one's the only one that's. Well, let's see here actually. This one was mine. This is AI's. I don't normally hit it with the warmth that hard, so I know I kind of expected that to be a little off. But if I just did that, bro, did I not straighten the photo? Oh, I didn't even straighten it. Dummy. Dummy. No, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave that. I don't care. Back to the original. I like the curve to it. I thought it looked good before, and now I'm just judging it because I'm looking at this. So this was my edit again. AI's after I tweaked the warmth and a little bit of the highlights. What the AI did originally. Honestly, I kind of like the AI's better than my own at this point. I think that's because this is a little bit too contrasty here, but it's also because she has a, well, both of them do, have a mask over them where I brighten the whites to kind of make them pop out of the woods. Where here is kind of a little bit more natural feeling because there's no mask or nothing. But just raising that exposure, brighten her dress itself, so. Not too shabby. I like that. That's how I would probably edit that. Again, the only thing that's missing is this veil piece right here at the end of the screen. That'd be hit with a mask, definitely. Here, I'll do one real quick. Yeah, this one. I mess with that one. I like it a lot. So let's do giant brush. Oh, what'd I click? That was weird. What sucks is I always overdo it. It's also because I'm on a MacBook, by the way. Like I'm not using a mouse, so that would probably help. But you know, I like to live life on the edge. That's all I can say. For the veil, like when you highlight it like this though, like you obviously can't go too much because like that obviously looks super fake. But that, and if you don't get the edges all the way, you can totally notice. But like I just do just a hair on, well, I did a lot on the highlights. And just a little bit on the white, which will make them pop. For brides, typically what I like to do as well, like in certain ones, I won't do it for all of them because that would be one take forever. But for example, I'll do like her face skin, her body skin, and this is mainly because when you shoot with the R5, you get every detail. So I'll just kind of lower the texture, and then that way it's a little bit more smoother. A lot of the new Lightroom updates, by the way, has like these adaptive portrait pieces. Why is it not? I'm lagging out pretty hard, I think. Yeah, it kind of, like this is gritty, so it's probably just bumping the clarity. But enhanced portrait, again, it will do both of them. I kind of leave the guys a little bit more rugged. Guys don't typically want to feel pretty. If they had some pimples or something, I clean that up, but for the most part, it's always about the bride. When it comes to like the texture on the face. All right, let's see. So this one, they're a little bit awkward. For me in particular, like when it comes to like what I send and what I don't, I like to send as many as I possibly can. So instead of just wasting this photo, a little extra black and white, you know. One of the other ones will definitely be black and white as well, but I think when it comes to different couples, you know, some of them want only the best of the best, which is fine. But then some of them want the more quirkier photos, just to kind of let them know they were actually real people on the day. They weren't just like statues posing up. I don't like to do a ton of posings. I like to do like, hey, stand here and just kind of have fun with it. Hence why I get so many kind of quirky photos. But yeah, just like that. Let me do the clarity real quick. It's gonna do both of them. I think it'll be okay. Yeah. Like for hers, it kind of clears it up, and she has like a pimple right there, which I'll clear that up too. Just makes his beard look nice and like he did it on purpose. Let's see. Oh, here's the other one. Let me find that. Alright, so this is my edit. AI's edit. Kind of like it more. Yeah, I kind of like this one more. His shirt's not as blue. She's more warmed up. I'll probably end up copying that over. This one's definitely a little bit more moody. And I was going with like everything else that was going to be in that sneak peek. So like naturally I was already like pumping in more mood to it, but oh, that's a fun one. Oh, Caitlin, you're staring at us. I was off center though, so. Thumbs up, dude. That was a fun photo. We also, I also was doing that too, so that way the videographer could get in there and get that. He kind of followed him out the second time, so that was kind of cool. I thought that would be good for the video as well. check that one out. Mom. Oh, I misfocus a hair. Yeah, family portraits I know is going to be probably one of the most downloaded portions of almost any wedding. So I'll kind of go in there and really kind of sharpen up everything. God, that's a brutal one. Super bright. See, like this was my edit on the day. And this was AI's. Again, it's not bad, way too bright. How did I do it before? Go through. Let's see. I think I raised in the shadows and then dropped exposure. Yeah. See, gets me close, but yeah, if it was gonna be a black and white, it would definitely be this one. Like, I would drop it down. Highlights all the way, gone. Drop the grain just a little bit. What I would end up doing is this. I would drop the background. I'd create a separate mask for just him. This whole person. Bump up the whites just a hair. Up the shadows. There we go. Now he's kind of popping off the edge. Yeah, that's good for me. Yeah, the whole day was working great. The only part that was a little tough as far as the lighting goes is the ceremony. Sunset was perfect. All worked out good there. Reception all the way into the middle of the night. The farther we get into this, a little bit more ratchet it gets. That reception was a lot of fun. So I don't know how far I'm going to edit into that. But all in all, what do you guys think? I think it matched up pretty well. Obviously, this is the newest one on my fine tune, so I was being a little bit more nitpicky than I normally am with it, but oh, the blue hour. Or it looks staged, but it was candid. Or the video guy was doing something. Oh, they're too green there. There was these are supposed to be sunset photos, by the way. The sunset happened to be on the other side of the island. So we got blue hour instead. Unexpected, but can't complain. This is a fun photo. They'll like that one. See, like, for me in particular, like, you'll see this one almost identical, just a little bit farther down, same thing. And that's just because, like, one's gonna be color, one's gonna be black and white, and the other one's probably gonna be cropped in, you know, and that will probably be color. And that's like when I do a lot of these photos. Like, I'll send around 3 of the same photo sometimes, especially if it's something I like. A lot of these boat photos is gonna have a ton of them, because I love almost all of them. Like that, can't beat that. You know what I mean? When are you gonna get that again? Never. Well, no, I'll never say never, but okay. So I believe I edited this one, and I didn't put it in the sneak peek. No, I couldn't have. There's no stars. It don't make any sense. I had to have. It's way darker than I would normally do it. Let's see if there's a mask. Yeah, I edited this. See, I put a little mask on them. I don't know what that is, so delete that. But I must have edited this one. That's AI's. Again, I like the moodiness of it all, so I'll keep it like that. My music's gone again. Alright guys, I don't think there's that many people in here. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break and then I'll come back. So, in the meantime, hang tight. we're back. Almost. Give me a second. Just trying to get situated here. Alrighty. If anybody wanted the update, fresh coffee. If you guys drink coffee, what's your coffee of choice? Mine is black. Just like I like my photos. Black and white. I always do that, try to scroll through back all the way through, but for me, oop, I just started that thing. There we go. Alright, let's start powering through some of this. I like it nice and white. Gotta take the blues, brighten that right out. Let's go to the next. Why is that so dark? More exposure. For the most part, I like to get a lot of the details of the dress. Me personally, I think it looks pretty good in albums. This might be a black and white one. Yep, love that. A little more exposure though. White, there we go. She had a pretty long dress, so I got different sections of it along with the whole thing. Man, these are fairly dark. There we go. And what are we working with here? A little brighter. Black and white. A lot of times, like brides or couples, they'll kind of ask me, like, how do I choose what's gonna be black and white, what's not? And it's more of a, just like a feeling, right? Like this would be a good black and white one. A lot of emotion going on there. The room's light, again, not super great, but I think they would enjoy it. I can't do all of them black and white, but like that one, there's basically duplicate, so why not run a little black and white action? But yeah, if you guys are in the chat and you have questions about different things, I mean, feel free to fire away. For the most part, what's funny is, like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some live streaming of the of editing. That's not how I look when I'm normally editing. Usually it's a blanket. Definitely don't do my beard. I usually look like I just woke up, because that's typically when I do my editing. A lot of brides as well will be like, how'd you respond so quick? Because this is all I do. Forgot about that one lead. Gotta message back real quick. Dun, dun. By the way, guys, like with this photo right here, what I've kind of noticed, it's driving me nuts, is this whole section over here. It's kind of messy. There's nothing I can do about it now, but normally I would try to clean that stuff up during the day. What I may do here is gonna try to lock it in a little bit closer, kind of get some of it out. Yeah, I think that's okay. See, we already did that one black and white. Anytime's like bride's holding a glass, having a little mimosas in the morning, it helps kind of flow with the story. So stories are black and white, great photos are in color. It's typically how it goes. That's okay. I want to put that in black and white, but I'm not going to. A little bit extra white. What's crazy is like this wedding, I'm only on photo 20, but there's 1,620. So we only got 1,600 more to go. I'm not going to do the whole wedding on this live stream, but I'll do a decent amount. But I don't think I could sit here that long. Again, for the most part, it's already like done. So if I really wanted to lock in and get it done today, I could. I'm not going to, because I think that's too soon. I know they're still on their honeymoon. This couple is actually like a friend. So I did their proposal in Tennessee. We went to Gatlinburg, and I think it's called Anakeesta. So we did their proposal, and that was like a few days before my wedding. So like when it was time to pick the photographer, I think it was a fairly easy choice to say, let's ride. And so I kind of knew him pretty well by the time we got up there. And hopefully they're not watching. And Connor, Haley, if you guys are watching, go ahead and click off. I don't want you guys getting any early sneak peeks. I want you to be able to enjoy your entire gallery all at once. On top of that, like I have 1,600 photos here that I have to go through and edit. Now I'll probably trim these down a few, but I also have their the days before leading up to it. One of these are black and white. Probably this one. Oh. See, like the little details for me. Gotta have it. I really want to highlight that watch. See, let's see the power of this brush. Object select. Nasty. Just crank the highlights all the way up. See what we get with a little white. Too much. And let's go to clarity. Yeah, just enough. See, now the watch is popping out. I like that. Let's go back to this because now we know its color. Highlights a little bit. Raise the blue so the jeans pop. I'm good with that. Might be... Oh, okay, it's fine. The one thing when I'm editing, I can never gauge how much grain is going to be because of the... it's got like a little bit of lag. I also have one of the newest MacBooks too, so... I got the 64 gig, RAM or whatever it's called, 2 terabytes. So M1 Max. So I'm rocking a pretty fast computer. I just have it bogged down pretty heavy with all the stuff that's on here. Yep, ham free throwing. I like the black and white for that one. I don't even have to touch it. I like the way it looks right there. That. Let's a little exposure, a little highlights. Again, if you guys are just popping in the chat, basically today we are editing a wedding with Imagen. I don't know how you pronounce it anymore. No, I'm kind of off track. The AI. Everybody's talking about it. Basically, we ran this entire wedding through Imagen, about 1,600 photos. Kind of let it do its thing. It took about 30 minutes from the time we started uploading it to the time we got to actually start editing our photos, if anybody was curious of how long 1,600 photos would take. But for the most part, it did pretty well. I used my own profile, so
My profile has about, what is it, 14,000 photos in it now, I think. I think that's what it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, if we went over that earlier. But basically, this is what it looked like before. This is what it looks like now. You know, I didn't tweak this one yet. And for the most part, I don't know if I'm going to. Oh, I did crop it, so I was a little off center. Again, the lighting in this room was a little difficult. I was trying to use flash as little as possible because they had video going on, but yeah, it was fairly dark. This was like the only room in the whole area that was fairly dark, but it was also one of the coolest rooms. It had a pool table, had a shuffleboard. Anybody dabble in a little shuffleboard? No? Okay, just me. Let's bring this one in nice and tight. Yeah, there we go. A little black and white, maybe? Yeah. This playlist kind of slaps. I gotta bring down the grain, though. There we go. What do you guys think? Good? Bad? Need color? Good, because we have color coming up too. Nope, can't do that. Yep. Do I have close-ups of the hands? See, like this, where I put in like a bunch. Like, if it's like the same photo here and here, for example, like normally I would crop in and like get the hands. I'm all a little off focus from the hands, but I also have it right here. Oh, that's his brother, but that's fine. Yeah, this was the best man. You guys may have seen him from a few of my photos. I take his photos quite often. Good way to brighten the faces too is it's a little orange, because he's been tanning for the entire week, so I can always just brighten the orange. It'll lighten up his face. I'll go back and do that for that one too. There we go. This, definitely black and white. Buddy, I'm gonna get you a brush for Christmas. See, this is the hard part, the hugs. Oh, did I have two? Perfect, yep. I always like to put... which one? It's gotta be this one, right? Yeah, it's gotta be. I got a nice hug in black and white. It will kind of blend together, though. I should have been more angled, but what you don't see is like right between us is a pool table, so I was kind of limited on how far I can move back and forth. Okay, Connor, I see you. Got a little GQ on him. He's like, watch me. I'm button this thing up. See, like this is when it gets a little tough to choose. See, I like how this one's a little bit more clarity, but this one's a little bit more shinier, if that makes sense. I gotta stick with the same one most of the time, but I'm gonna lower the grain, which should help with that. There we go. Now we're kicking. Color. What's crazy is he like stepped, that light came out of nowhere. It's just not a great photo. That sucks. It's my bad. See, I like this for my style. It's nice and moody. The trees are nice and dark. For a wedding, typically, gotta brighten it up just a hair. But these light leaks through the trees. Brutal. See, this would be a good spot to try to bring the blue out, get the white in the shirt. Is that cropped? Yeah, let's crop it back down a little bit. What was funny is when we were doing the groomsmen photos, the every groom had a Modelo. None of them had limes, by the way. If you want to judge, now's the time. But we were making fun of how they're like, this part of the day is sponsored by Modelo. Modelo, you trying to sponsor somebody? I know some guys. Just saying. This is black and white. Yeah, that's a move. Always gives me goosebumps when you pick a black and white properly, because that's like when they're walking down, they don't know they're being photographed. Technically, they probably know, but they don't realize it. And them just kind of in motion walking down the hill, there's just something about it, you know. Maybe I'm the only one that appreciates photos like that, but that's kind of how I look at it. It's like this. I like the color because he's looking at him. He's like, boy, if you don't walk down that hill. A little highlight on it. No, I like the color too much. What I did like as well for this couple in particular, they liked the whole naturalness of the woods. They wanted to keep that, so I tried to do that as much as possible. What you got, bro? Little sunglasses? Okay. Sponsored by Modelo. What was this shot on? 70 to 200. Okay, so I was at this part already. So for most of a wedding day, I wear the moneymaker straps, dual cameras. One camera is the Canon R5. The other is the Canon R6 Mark II. And typically on one of them, I'm going to have a 35 prime, and the other one's going to have either a 70 to 200 RF, or I have an 85 EF, which I'll use the EF to RF adapter. It's typically what I'm running on most wedding days. For getting ready, for the brides, usually if it's like a smaller area and it's not like super long, like a hallway like this day, I would have a 35 prime and a 50 prime. But for ceremonies, it's always the 70 to 200 on one of them, and 35 on the other. Yeah. Well, what is in a sense oh, Haley, you better not be in here. Haley, if I see a viewer go up, I'm gonna have to click off here. I posted the that I was going live on my Instagram. She just reacted to it, so So she's not coming in. Don't worry, guys. Sorry for the delay. Just had to make sure, you know. One of the things that I always like to do is like when I deliver a gallery, typically I'll shoot the couple of texts and just ask them if they're both together and do they have free time. So usually it's later in the day, but I don't just randomly send it, because I know for ours, like for my wedding, our gallery was sent and we were both at work. And luckily at that time we both worked together, so I kind of ran over to her desk and we kind of flipped through them. But it definitely took some of the magic out, where we just kind of had to power through it in 10 seconds because we had to get back to work before we got in trouble, you know. But so I like to make sure that my couples are one together, they have some free time, and then they can sit there and just kind of relive and enjoy the day when they're going through the gallery. Plus for them, they don't even know, but there's a little video that's gonna go in there. That's not like they hired me for it, I just kind of made it. But that way they can kind of just react to it and just kind of have fun with it, rather than be like, quick, let me look through and see if there's good photos, you know? All right, so this one, it's just me. You see a little green. A little green. There we go. There we go. See, this one I know is going to be orange. Whoa, it's not. Super grainy. Why is it so red? See, this is all from the AI that did it. You know what? We'll fix this, guys. You already know. A little black and white. It's gotta be, you know. I also would have done this black and white probably anyway. I probably would have duplicated it, but sometimes you don't need to. Yeah, let's lower the highlights and bump up the whites. Yeah. See, look at these. They had these old slot machines in there. 5 cents. Wow, so sick in that room. Excuse me. See, here's another one. Do I black and white it though? Is the question. I already did it once. How about this? Let's raise the brightness on the orange. There you go. Drop the exposure a little bit. There we go. Let's see. Something else must have been going on there during that time. There's one of him kind of sideways, I think. Yeah, this is the black and white one. Hold on, let's check out this. Yeah, this is a little bit more cleaner. The deer above him. I wish it was just a little bit higher, but Connor's also like 9 foot tall, so. I'll cut the deer off a little bit. For this one, what I'm gonna do is lower the exposure in the background. Yeah, see, now he kind of gets raised off the wall a little bit there. Beautiful. Beautiful. What's funny is I know she'd be freaking out right now. It's a good photo. She's just mid-laugh. See, this is kind of why I shoot so heavy with some of the brides. See, like, that one's way better. I'm going to go ahead and remove this one for her. Yeah, way better. I think her mom was singing to her, too. So she was about to tear up. I think that's why we were firing off so many. Black and white. Oh, what'd I do? There we go. Let's lower the highlights, raise the whites. There we go. I'm gonna lower the grain on this one a little bit because it was a little grainy in there because it's kind of dark. Let's see. we go. We already did that one black and white because we're doing this one in color. I'm looking at it. I'm gonna raise the lumens on the orange. That's just a good photo overall. What's especially with the bride again, they have this little mask creator for like portraits. You can just go click over on white and teeth. Boom, she got them pearlies. I could darken eyebrows. I'm not gonna do that. I'd try not to change the makeup and stuff like that. You know, they obviously spend a lot of money on their hair and makeup to get exactly what they want. They don't need me in there changing it in a way that isn't what they want. Oh, look. I just now got the email. Imagen, you're late. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. So the email, once your photos are ready from Imagen, basically you're going to get email that says your edits are ready. Hey Richard, we have finished editing 1,598 photos from your project HC for Haley and Connor using your personal AI profile ultimate photos. Plug. Imagen has saved you about 12.78 hours in manual editing. Is what it gives you, like an estimate of how long it would take to edit those photos that way. Saving me 13 hours, it would have taken you longer. The one factor that it doesn't think about is keeping all the photos consistent. You know, even with a preset, you know, when one of the reasons why I like the AI so much is, for example, now we're in a room, it's nice and bright. I'm going to edit the photos a certain way. If it was the middle of the night and I have the computer on my lap, I'm 2 hours into editing, you know what I mean? I may start editing them a different way until you go back and you look and realize none of them match. Also, like, it depends on how many coffees you have, how your edit's going to look then. So being able to get a solid base by, especially like a computer, it's not going to judge what time of day it is or how tired it is. It's going to knock it out the exact same throughout the entire wedding. And then that way, if it needs to be tweaked, you can tweak them all the same then. And it only takes you however long. Again, you can always leave the computer, come back to it if you had to. But that's just kind of my thoughts on that. Was there anything else in that email? And it basically says, if you're wondering what to do next, follow these instructions. Open the Imagen app, head to project page, download the edits, or click the download edit buttons for your project HC. It says downloading your edits takes less than a minute. Then the app will prompt you to open up Lightroom, then complete. And it actually even gives you like a little video to how to. I'm not going to watch that, but I feel like a lot of those videos, stuff like that, especially for the guy photographers out there, you guys probably feel me on this. We don't read the manuals. You know what I mean? We just kind of dive in and figure it out until somebody tells us we're doing it wrong. Just like when you kind of put together something from IKEA, who needs that? We just grab it and go. We may have to do it 6 times, but we figure it out. You guys feel me on that? No? Just me? This right here is my jam. There we go. Got the pearly whites. See, like this is a nice and close one, which I personally like, but I think the black and white might have to be the move. Let's look at the light. Definitely not that one. Would she use it in color is the question. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody would post that photo that close. But in an album, black and white, you would use. You know what I mean? Now for the whole photo, again, remember what I said earlier, for the brides, texture down for the face, kind of just softens it up a little bit. I like it. I'm with it. I took a bunch of the photos of her hair, but she also had these little flowers in it, so I think it was a must. What's the black and white look like? No, not yet. Not ready. She's not ready. Just bump the highlights up. Let me check one other thing. What time is it? Oh, it's about 2:22. For the for a lot of this stuff, what you're kind of seeing here, it's mainly just kind of me posting up in the corner of the room, just kind of candidly trying to snap them having fun. There was a ton of them in there, so kind of had to black and white. Kind of had to stay incognito as much as I could, especially until like everybody's hair and makeup is fully done. Like nobody really wants to be photographed, so like that's where you'll see me shoot more of like the back of their heads, the bridesmaids, you know, jacket and stuff like that. Like things like that are okay to capture, but you really don't want to run in there pre-makeup, pre-hair, and just start trying to get them to smile for the camera. It's just, if you look through all my galleries, those would be the least downloaded photos. So if you're a future bride kind of planning out your wedding as well, maybe think you don't need the first hour of getting ready. I don't do hour by hour, so, but like if you were looking at a different photographer and they were like, hey, you may need me to show up at 7 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. Well, you probably don't need that. Unless you're okay with it, then that's your thing. Oh, let me lower the exposure back. Let's raise the shadows, lower exposure. This is a black and white one probably. It's just not perfectly even for me. What's crazy is like, before I was always like, oh, every photo has to be perfect. And I realized every photo doesn't have to be perfect, because any of them that are not can be black and white and still look perfect. Because you can be like, ooh, it's artsy. You know? Plus, it looks good in black and white. See, like this? I can tell there's a lot of blue on her shirt, so let's brighten that up. And let's brighten the whole room up a little bit. This was like a little book that she was given by her sisters, so I'm like ridiculously close, but there was no other spot for me. Totally thought she was gonna start crying, but she came close. You can see she was starting to break, but she didn't. She held strong. I can't say that for the whole day, but see, like this right here, this is kind of where I get conflicted. You can see how it's like nice, dark, and moody. That's me all day. I would love that photo. I'm gonna leave that photo actually. That's the difference too. Is like when you send galleries that are larger than average, you can do stuff like that, and it's not gonna matter. As long as you like have that conversation beforehand, you know what I mean. Like if they wanted bright and airy only, and if you said, hey, like I'm gonna give you some bright and airy, but I'm also gonna put in a lot of my style, as long as they're okay with that, then you're fine. But if you were like, if they said, hey, I don't want any dark and moody, well, one, you may have to, you know, have that conversation if they're not the right fit. But most of my couples want some of that mood in there, but I don't want to give them every photo to be a mood, just because that's, unless that's what they want. I mean, I'm here for it. Let's see. Videographer. I may, let's crop. Let's see. See what this looks like. You see what I did there? I turned the videographer from being in there to a nice little candid black and white of everybody kind of reacting. I'm here for it. Still in front of that one. Oh, my chair is so squeaky. For anybody that is asking, this will be up later. I'll just kind of post it straight to the channel. So if you get busy and you want to come back and watch it, by all means, this will be up later. So you just kind of hear me rambling to myself. But for the most part, if you guys you have questions, feel free to fire them away. I'm no expert by any means, but I kind of like to think I know at least some. Again, to kind of double back, I'm not paid or sponsored or any of that. I just wanted to give you guys an insight of what my editing process looks like. How does Imagen work? Is it actually that good? In my opinion, it is good, and the more you use it, the more it's going to kind of mold to your style, and you're going to fine tune it in a sense, because that's what it's really called, to be as close to perfect as possible. But the more you do it, the better it comes out. You know, you just got to be in a spot where you can actually invest in saving yourself that time. If you're shooting one wedding a year, that's not for you. You know what I mean? But if you start getting up there 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, you know what I mean? Like, it becomes way more worth it. Because this wedding itself says I saved about 14 hours of time. I need that time, you know, so I can set up appointments, mess with the website, promote, do all that kind of stuff. Plus, like, I also do videos, so I have to make sure that any kind of the videos are being edited, you know, all that jazz. So I want to earn that time back somewhere. So that, for this wedding, in a sense, $100, totally worth the investment, you know, that. And I think we all can relate to editing 8 weddings in a row, photo by photo, was for the birds. Is this blurry? Yep, it's blurry, which means it's black and white. See, like that? That's probably too moody, you know? Let's brighten it up. There we go. Actually, since it's a little blurry, I'm going to go ahead and knock off the grain. That way the blur itself looks like the grain. And this is some hugs. Let's brighten this up. I'm going to cool this down just a hair. Put some blacks back in. There we go. Other sisters hug. There we go. We have 2. So let's black and white this one. Highlights begun. Whites up. Exposure up. There we go. Let's do... Oops. Let's just change it a little bit. We'll crop in just a little bit. So this is where she's writing her letter. Did I get it? I can't see it in that one. I didn't get it clear enough. I really wish I would have, though. I didn't know what it said until later, or I would have dug a little deeper. Is that there? What's gonna be crazy? I'm gonna try something real quick. I'm gonna flip it upside down. It does not look right at all, so I'm not gonna do that. There we go. Like that. Little bridesmaid hug as she's in her dress. Yeah, you can see like how this room was just like a giant hall with like some sections breaking off. It was a nice room, definitely like aesthetically pleasing for like staying in. For photos, a little tough because I was getting backlit from both sides. From this door, there's a door from behind me as well. Is that 2? Did I miss that? 3 hugs. So I like that one in color. Let's do this one black and white. Actually, shit. Nope, I'm okay with it. Let's do this. Get rid of the highlights. Let's pump up the black just a hair. Up the whites. Down some green. Crop in. Oh lordy, how much coffee have you guys had? This one was a little intentional. She started doing that, but I already knew I was going black and white with it. Alright, so this is some of the prime getting ready photos. For
the final zipping or buttoning of the dress. I always tell them to leave at least 3 to 4 buttons, or 2 inches worth of zipper, because I actually want them to do it naturally. This dress had buttons, but you kind of saw how like the insides, right? The inside of that room was making things orange a little bit difficult. With them liking all the naturalness of the day, I wanted to bring them outside, which I just kind of went to her and said, hey, is outside cool? She said, let's do it, and all she wrote. So I thought this was a little bit better of a backdrop. Let's see, what would I do to this? Highlights? Let's just kind of go through a few of them. Again, I'll have to go back through, and what I think I'm gonna end up doing, just because there's so many, is going back through later and doing all the masks. Unless you guys are asking specifically, like, hey, can you do a mask real quick, then it's fine. But I think at this part, if you guys are looking at AI editing, probably don't need the masks. Okay, there we go. Let's lower the highlights. Up the exposure just a hair. Let's do this. Let's hit the background. There we go. Just lower that exposure just a hair. Now they're standing out. Boom. Beautiful. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here in just a minute. I think we've been going 2 hours. 30 minutes of that is basically just the downloading and uploading and getting all that. But I think you guys kind of get the gist of what's going on here. Maybe I'll save this later, do some more tomorrow. I think. I'm starting to get a headache. I think this was, it's too bright. Let's check out what it looked like before. Not bad. Oh, the flowers. I want to see that one real quick. Let's go here. All right, so again, this was my edit that I did for the sneak peek. And this was the AI's. Again, the only thing I think it's missing is the masks. I think everything else, like the flowers, you can kind of see they're almost spot on color-wise. Again, this is a different photo because of the crop. It just straightened it out. But for the most part, it's pretty spot on. Again, I hit it with a mask to kind of lighten up her face a little bit, just because I'm shooting with the R5, which it's gonna get literally every nook and cranny of your face. So I kind of combat that a little bit with like a mask. So like if I just came here real quick, I just said I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So sorry. If I created a mask, went down to texture, kind of lowered that. If I went over to these little adaptive masks, I could brighten the teeth up. Where's the eyes? Enhance eyes. That might be too much. But I like it. I like it. I'm gonna stick with it. See? Now we're cooking. And again, I'll go through like a little pimple. I'll edit that out. People get stressed on the wedding day, so that's what I would want. So you can kind of see it. It's all pretty spot on for that. Oh, let's check the details. See what it did there. It's not the best one. See, like this is their little gift station. A little before and after. Yeah, just kind of elevated it. Again, I kind of lean more towards like the naturalness of it, but yeah, I think it did okay. I don't even think I would change anything. Let's see, highlights. Nah, couldn't do that. Full white, maybe. I'm just being picky at this point. See what that one looks like. Yeah, kept the color, brightened it in the right areas. Fine with that. Let's see, challenging light. No, that's okay. I would change that though, obviously. It needs a little love to it, but you can see how like the light's coming from one side. This is what it was normally. There we go. and this is what it did, right? Again, not too bad. Her hair's a little bit more frizzier now, but I'll clean that up later. It's just more noticeable. But I would probably raise the exposure just a hair, shadows just a hair, maybe pop a little warm in it. Not too bad. Let's see. For ceremonies especially, like, black and white's great. The grain makes it a little bit timeless, but for me, I think I would go with this one. Just it's a little bit more crispier, but I can still knock out some of that grain and keep a lot of the detail in it. So yeah, I like it. I think this day turned out pretty well. I can't really complain. Let's see. In this part, he was in a little bit better lighting. Let's do this. So this was the before. This is after. So kind of Imagen knew to warm up the face area a little bit. I like to tweak the blues, dim the greens in the back, make them pop. So I think that, if anything, I would just maybe just brighten the whites just a hair. There you go. Just because I know the rest of the gallery is going to be a little bit bright, so I'll try to keep it as cohesive as possible on that. This. Oop. Can't beat that. You know what I mean? All that nice bokeh in the background. Yeah, one click done. This, I like this too. I'm gonna brighten it just a hair. That one was pretty crooked. That's what I was checking. But it looks crooked still. I went the wrong way. It's close enough. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it for today. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and maybe I pop on here tomorrow, finish it up. You guys let me know. If you want me to see me do a whole different wedding, maybe we do that a different day. But yeah, so if you guys have questions, drop them down below. If you want to see more, go ahead, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. But yeah, other than that, had some fun, and I will see you guys later.